My brothers and sisters in Christ, in this Sunday's Gospel, Jesus gives a parable about a persistent widow who begs for a just decision, a modern take on this ancient parable. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus told his disciples a parable about the necessity for them to pray always without becoming weary. He said there was a judge in a certain town who neither feared God nor respected any human being. And a widow in that town used to come to him and say, "Render a just decision for me against my adversary." For a long time the judge was unwilling, but eventually he thought, "While it is true that I neither fear God nor respect any human being, because this widow keeps bothering me, I shall deliver a just decision for her, lest she finally come and strike me." The Lord said, "Pay attention to what the dishonest judge says. Will not God then secure the rights of his chosen ones, who call out to him day and night? Will he be slow to answer them? I tell you, he will see to it that justice is done for them speedily. But when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?" The Gospel of the Lord. A few weeks ago, I flew down to Georgia to visit my brother and his family. While there, we celebrated my nephew's 4th birthday a few days early. His eyes lit up when he opened up his present from Uncle Kevin, a large Buzz Lightyear action figure, fully equipped with a space suit, laser, retractable wings, buttons, voice commands, and his signature karate chop. It didn't take long before my nephew Michael was running around the house, delighted to send Buzz on mission, flying through space, conquering an imaginary enemy. And when victory was accomplished, aiming Buzz's laser at his 2 sisters. For Halloween, Michael stepped it up a notch. He dressed up and became Buzz Lightyear himself. Children engage their imagination, allowing them to dive deeper into stories, so deep that characters become real to them. Sometimes, as adults, we need to do the same, using prayer and reflection to bring the meaning of Bible lessons to life. In today's Gospel, Jesus shares a parable about a corrupt judge and a persistent widow. I imagine her getting dressed every morning, slowly making her way over to the judge's court, pleading for mercy, refusing to take no for an answer. After weeks, perhaps months, she wears him down. "I shall deliver a just decision for her," the judge says, "lest she finally come and strike me." This word strike can also be translated to render a black eye. Imagine a little old lady with a cane in one hand, using the other to whack a judge with her purse. Sometimes we may think of God as being that judge, whose mind is hard to change. Isn't that the case when our petitions seem to go unanswered? But what if the roles are reversed? What if God is the persistent widow, knocking on the door of my heart? What if I am the judge, whose mind and heart are hard to change? In what ways is the Lord inviting me to grow, to soften, to amend my ways? We might also imagine God being the persistent widow, knocking on the doors of our archdiocese, pleading with us to open our minds and hearts to new possibilities. This is the point of We Are His Witnesses, Cardinal Tobin's strategic plan for our future. We all know change is coming, yet many may be reticent to accept it. Broadly speaking, Mass attendance, the celebration of the sacraments, and priestly ordinations have been in decline for years. We have to rethink how we lead as a church, as well as how we hand on our faith to the next generation. We as a parish have been working on this for years, and thankfully with some success. Still, Jesus challenges us, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? If God is the persistent widow then is he not also knocking on the doors of the universal church, begging us to open up our doors and let people in? Too often we throw hurdle after hurdle in front of people of goodwill before welcoming them, frustrating their faith journey, making it harder than it needs to be. If God is the persistent widow, is he not also banging on the doors of society, pleading with us to step outside of our comfort zones, to open our eyes to another person's perspective, to go out into the streets and encounter the poor, to understand people's pain and come to their aid? While it's easy to imagine God being the judge whose mind is hard to change when I place my petitions before him, maybe the real judge is inside of me. Prayer is what wears that judge down, as it were. It softens us, it humbles us, it awakens us to change and new possibilities. This is why Jesus commands us to be persistent in prayer, just as God is eternally persistent, patient, and merciful towards us. It takes time to soften our hearts, to move our feet, and to change our ways. What doors might Jesus be knocking on in society, in the church, even in our own lives? And what might he have to say? We cannot interpret the sound of knocking to mean that we know the answer. First, we must open the door, welcome the Lord, sit down and listen to him, who questions us. When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? Yes, Lord, yes, you will find it here.